Shin Megami Tensei is a long-running JRPG series. The first game released in 1987, and in 3 months, we're getting a new mainline game. Mainline? Yeah. There used to be a ton of spin-offs of Shin Megami Tensei. Devil Summoner and also the Raida Kuzunoha games, Devil Children, Devil Summoner, Digital Devil Saga, Megami Tensei Gaiden Last Bible, Majin Tensei, Jack Bros, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and of course, Persona. We can say that the last mainline SMT spin-off is TMS, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but I absolutely am aware that some of y'all won't accept that TMS is a spin-off and it doesn't have SMT in its name. Well, kinda. So, would the last new spin-off that was released actually be Persona 5 in 2016? But if you didn't know, Persona dropped the SMT portion of its name with P4G on Vita, so... And it's kind of like the 5th Persona game, so it's not a new spin-off anymore. Yes, it is kind of a spin-off still, but it's not a new spin-off. It's the 5th installment of a spin-off series. Alright, so would the last new SMT spin-off actually be Devil Survivor on the DS, which came out in 2019? I think so. It's been 12 years if we don't count TMS, and it's been 6 years if we do count it. What happened with SMT spin-offs? The Persona series happened. The Persona series, which is an actual mainline SMT spin-off, sold 15 million copies worldwide as of 2021. That's what happened. Today, I am here to discuss the future of SMT spin-offs. Was TMS and or Devil Survivor really the last one? Did Persona spin-offs replace SMT spin-offs? Are we going to get mainline SMT entries in the future and no more spin-offs? I have a bunch of ideas and topics I want to talk about, so let's jump right into the discussion here. I briefly mentioned the sales of both Persona and SMT. Well, it is definitely true that when you look at the sales of the latest Persona spin-offs, Persona 5 Strikers, you gotta admit that it's definitely tempting for Atlus to keep releasing Persona spin-offs instead of SMT spin-offs. Hell, Persona 5 Strikers outsold every single mainline game in a year. Not even spin-off, just the mainline games, the mainline SMT game. I am definitely in the camp of yes, SMT spin-offs are dead, or at least new ones. But let's keep thinking for a bit, shall we? SMT Nocturne HD Remastered released a couple of months ago for us in the West, and a lot of people, myself included, are thinking that Digital Devil Saga is next. They would probably do a dual pack of both DDS 1 and 2, make them in HD using Unity again, reuse the models, sell it for $60 and you're all set. The most expensive part of Nocturne HD was voice acting. And voice acting is already in the games, so it seems very unlikely here. Low effort, decent revenue. My point here is, if they do port DDS 1 and 2, what does it mean for the future of SMT spin-offs since DDS is a spin-off of mainline? I don't think HD remasters of those games mean much, but we could definitely assume that they're still interested in at least porting those old SMT spin-offs as remasters. One scenario that seems pretty likely to me is Devil Survivor 3. I mentioned before how I think that Desu 1 and 2 would look and play amazingly on Switch. Those games are great to look at, and a simple HD port would make them even better. They could pull a Bayonetta 3 or a No More Heroes situation where they announce 1 and 2 ports and they reveal that a third game is now in the works. Devil Survivor is once again obviously not a new spin-off, but a third installment, and it makes a lot of sense, way more than Digital Devil Saga if you ask me. Now, what I think could happen in terms of a new spin-off is probably some type of crossover spin-off between Persona and SMT. I feel like that would probably be a last chance that Atlus would give to a new SMT spin-off instead of just not dropping any more SMT spin-off and focusing on Persona. There's also, of course, Shin Megami Tensei V, their biggest upcoming game in the SMT series, and they clearly put a lot of work, money, and effort and passion into the project, and I really do feel like for a bunch of reasons, SMT V will do extremely well. Now, let's think here for a bit and let's speculate. Let's say SMT V, before 2021 ends, is a massive hit. It sells 2 million units. Okay, so big number, I know, but let's assume that it's gonna sell 2 million. Well, I think the scenario is different if that happens. If SMT V is a way bigger success than the best-selling mainline SMT game, the Shin Megami Tensei IV, I do think that they could keep rolling and give us more spin-off instead of just a possible sequel to SMT 5, so a new spin-off, simply because there's now the Shin Megami Tensei name in the air, and they could have a similar scenario to RGG Studio with Yakuza and Judgment. They could roll with SMT with their main games and their spin-offs, and also Persona with their main games and their spin-off. That is if Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a massive success. If SMT 5 is a success, a decent success like SMT 4 was, around 850,000 units sold, around 1 million units sold, well, I'm sure they're going to be happy with the number, but would that be enough for them to say, hey, let's try something new, let's try a new SMT spin-off instead of all those Persona spin-offs? You know how Persona 4 and Persona 5 had a ton of spin-off of their own game, each one of them? Well, maybe if SMT 5 really is that massive success and it blows everyone's expectations away, maybe they could drop 1 or 2 spin-off of Persona 6 instead of 5 and drop a couple of SMT spin-offs throughout the way. I am certainly down for this because I do love my Persona spin-offs, they're great, but I think there's too many of them, and I would prefer if they give us different spin-offs, maybe SMT spin-offs instead of Persona spin-offs. So those were all the little points that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. So let me know, what are your thoughts? What do you think about all the points that I bring up today? Do you really think that Atlus is done with Shin Megami Tensei spin-offs, and now in terms of spin-offs it's only gonna be Persona spin-offs? Drop a comment and let me know. I'm definitely curious to hear you guys' thoughts. If you like this video, I put a lot of effort into it, so make sure to drop a like, it would really help. And if you're new to my channel, want to stay up to date on any type of content, Atlus, Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, you are at the right place. Make sure to subscribe, ring the notification bell, all that good stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, much appreciated on my end, and we'll see you next time. Bye.